there, because that is also one pocket where I see continuation of the rally happening, because numbers have been pretty solid and asset quality is good. So I think you will see very strong numbers for the Jan to March quarter also.
All right, and we'll get to the sectors in just a bit, but also wanted to get your view on the broader markets, because the headliners Nifty and Sensex, they have been rather choppy in the past couple of weeks, but broader markets now the only way they are going is up. And various interactions I've had with other analysts as well as there seems to be concerns about the valuations, and they, at least the valuations I'm talking about here, are looking a little stretched. So, is that a concern that you share with other people that we have spoken to? And are we in bubble territory if valuation is a concern?
See, first of all, Suez, the broader market is a very large market, and I think clearly, if you see the SIP flows, just to give you an indicator of what is the kind of appetite happening in mid cap, small cap, stocks. A large part of this SIP, around 17,000 plus crores, is now going in the small and the mid cap category. So there's a huge appetite by investors to generate an alpha, in these kind of companies. Unfortunately, on the large cap side, we have been finding that, stocks like HDFC Bank, Kotak, they've not done anything for the last 2 years. And on an average, one cannot expect a very strong multiple upside in these large cap companies, because these are basically, very, very, well researched companies. On the small cap, on the mid cap side, I think investors are willing to take that kind of risk, both on the frontline exchanges as well as even on the SME exchanges. You must be seeing a lot of action happening on the SME exchanges also. So I think a lot of risk money is entering the markets, and I think yes, you need to be cautious, but I think you also need to understand the fact that there are some companies where the earnings quality, where the earning growth is going to be significantly high. And I think in today's market, anything which is even expensive by 5-10%, investors are willing enough to take that call, because they feel that they might miss the story completely. So I think you've got to do your homework well and get into only those companies where the risk reward is in your favor. But I do agree that at these levels you need to be very selective. I think anything and everything will not now run within the broader market also.
All right, and we were just talking about the IT stocks. I mean, is there a valuation comfort there as far as the bellwether stocks go? HCL, Infosys, and your TCS, of course, because they have seen a good bit of a run up in the last few sessions, sir.
No, I think, see, if you compare the IT companies with the other manufacturing sectors and with the small and the mid caps, you will find that this is one sector where there have been large growth concerns, and that is why these are now companies where a lot of value is being hunted. I think clearly, once the earnings trajectory gets restarted, then I think you will find that even P multiples will start moving upwards. But as of now, the earnings quality, the kind of cash these companies have got on the books, there's a lot of value, Suresh, which is lying in these companies. So I think somebody who wants to take a kind of a conservative call and stick to quality and expects not very significant high appreciation but decent upside can definitely look at these companies. And I'm quite positive that over the next 1 to 2 quarters, once the US markets turns around, which I think it's already done, that would be a good trigger point for the IT services industry, because clearly I think once US resumes its IT budgets in a big way, that will definitely mean that the larger IT companies would obviously get a major benefit out of all this.
All right, and of course, one of the reasons why we are seeing this rally in IT stocks is because of a sentimental turnaround in US. Macro indicators that are coming out from the US are showing that the economy continues to remain healthy. But that also, I mean, the other way to look at it, that would certainly push back or at least give Fed the comfort that they need not go for that rate cut as soon as March or July. Maybe they can back end all the rate cuts. So I mean, that could perhaps be a negative for emerging markets, because the dollar is expected to gain strength, the bond yields are going to pick up, isn't it?
I think if the dollar gains, the rupee weakens. So, for IT companies, so it's definitely going to be positive, because these are all companies which earn in dollars. They don't have any raw material costs. They don't have any large imports. So my sense is that, I think these could be largely good defensive bets. And most importantly, I think despite the fact that interest cuts may not happen, at least now rising interest rates are completely off the kind of hook. The recent Fed commentary has also said that inflation now needs to come down, but I think clearly nobody is talking about raising interest rates. So I think clearly that fear in the market is gone. and I think liquidity continues to be good. So, I think you're going to see, you're seeing a lot of FI money coming in, SIP money, ultra HNIs. So liquidity is also keeping the markets pretty healthy. So to that extent, the election schedule has not been announced. But once it gets announced, I was just hearing Mr. Modi's speech, today, where he has clearly commented that they will be getting more than 400 seats. So, that shows the optimism of the party. And I think if that happens, then I think you could see another fresh round of buying post the elections.
All right, and before we let you go, sir, I just wanted to get your take on the entire Paytm situation. Now, the stock has in fact moved up from its lower circuit. The stock ended about 4-5% higher in today's session. But what's your overall take on the entire situation? Over the course of the week, it has evolved from being a compliance issue to a potential corporate governance issue, with reports claiming that there were not necessary firewalls between the payments bank and 197 communications on the whole. So what's your overall analysis of Paytm and the stock as well, sir?
No, honestly, Suresh, I think despite the stock falling down by 50%, we have been telling our clients that be careful. This is a stock where we haven't seen any operating EBITDA or any kind of profitability at the net level. In fact, the company's earlier target of getting profitable on the EBITDA by September 24 is now really looking very tough. Maybe they'll have to, take a realistic call, because once the wallet business is out by the end of the month, that is going to hit their bottom line and their profitability quite significantly. So my sense is, the profitability yardstick would take another, say, 3-4 quarters ahead. And whenever, you see the mutual fund holding, you see the ultra HNI holding, lot of investors have entered this stock slightly at higher levels. And it has continuously broken down, all those levels on the downside. So I think clearly today's bounce is just a bounce. I think clearly I would not be of the opinion to be in a hurry to buy the stock. Let the water settle down and let all the regulatory approvals be in place. And I think probably post the March quarter, I think we could see better clarity. So till that time, it's going to be a very, very volatile kind of moment for the Paytm stock. So it's better to stay away. I think there's no hurry, because I don't think you're going to miss out a big opportunity by not buying the stock as of now.
And I mean, are you at all concerned about their banking license getting revoked after Feb 29th? Because, if the banking business is shelved, what else does Paytm have?
No, that is exactly what I'm saying, that there is a lot of clarity which is yet to come out. See, I think we need to wait for that, because in case, the banking license goes away, then I think it's going to be a bigger jolt for Paytm. And I think, and in that scenario, then you could see a heavy sellout, because, there are almost 40 to 50 mutual funds which have got large holdings in Paytm. So one could see a lot of institutional selling also. So I think it's better to wait. It's very difficult to, give a view as of now, because unless and until we get some clarity post February 29th, only then one can take a call. But based on fundamentals, Suresh, I think it's still a long way. The company is definitely, even still, as of now, the valuation and the market cap looks pretty high. So I wouldn't like to put my money immediately as of now.
All right, even after 36% correction, the market value and the overall valuations of the company are looking still high. That's the view on Paytm, sir. Always great, a pleasure talking to you. Thank you for joining us here on IndusInd. And that's all we have in this edition of Last 6. Stay tuned with us, as we'll be right back with Business Plus.
हमारी नारी शक्ति को सशक्त करने से ही देश सशक्त होने वाला है।
हर महीने महिलाओं को 1500 रुपए प्रति माह दिलवाया जाएगा।
What Nitish Kumar did to provide cycle to girls, so they could safely, quickly move out of the house, go to school and quickly come back. Tring, 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 tring.
माँ अन्नपूर्णा तू ही, माँ अन्नपूर्णा है तू ही वीणा वादनी, हे शक्ति स्वरूपा जगदम्बा, हे नारी तू नारायणी।